Alita, our Lord and Master! Hail Alita! One of us! One of us! Oh my goodness. What's up, Raiders? It's Adam from RaidersLostFlix.com. And you go to this website, Be Independent? The Independent? Be Independent? Never heard of them before today. But as soon as you pull up this website, this big tweet comes up right here. In May, the official Twitter account of the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences, home of the Oscars, asked his followers to name the one movie they felt needed to be seen in a cinema. And then the alt-right ethos souring the cult of Alita. So apparently, and we'll get into a little bit of this article, I'm not going to read the whole thing, but I do want to point out some of these comments. And I did make a video previously that basically the media has done everything they can to bury this movie, which doesn't make sense to a lot of us because, you know, at least to my notice, I know it goes back a lot farther. It goes back to Gamergate, which most of that I ignored. I just didn't care about any of that. I know it was important. I'm not saying that it wasn't important. It's just at the time I just wasn't partaking of that fight. I just wasn't for me. I was still at that point able to escape to other things. I played older games. I was watching movies and TV shows that I still liked. Everything had not been affected by the SJW principles quite yet at that point. But then, lo and behold, when Alita came out in February, the media did everything they could to bury this movie. And like I said, I don't understand, because in 2016 it was supposed to be all about female empowerment and gender swapping, and all that was supposed to be good for everybody. It was supposed, you know, eat your vegetables, it's good for you. Swap genders, everyone. Let's take the Ghostbusters and make them all female and laugh at them, even though their jokes are not funny, because women empowerment, and if you don't support this thing, then you are a sexist. That's right, you're a misogynist pig, you're a sexist, you're alt-right, you're racist, you're all these things. Again, ignore that. It wasn't until The Last Jedi hit to where I was infected by this stuff, because I says, okay, clearly this franchise is making it up as they go. I'm going to move on my merry way and just kind of divorce myself from current Star Wars, because it's clearly not for me anymore. Boom! Instantly, I'm branded a misogynist, a racist, a sexist pig, because I don't support this lousy movie. Alright, so when Alita Battle Angel came out, it came out in February, and the media did everything they could to bury this movie, talking about it's a big flop and all this kind of stuff, and there's no cultural footprint, yada yada yada. It was right about the time, let's see, Leda came out in February, and then Captain Meh, aka Captain Marvel, came out in March, because the SJWs have basically drafted Brie Larson as their Lord and Savior of SJW, destined to fight the patriarchy. That was more important to them, fighting the patriarchy. It wasn't really about female empowerment. It wasn't even really about feminism. It was third-wave feminism to destroy the patriarchy. Alita didn't fall into that narrative. So what do? They destroy Alita. Even though, realistically, right here, get in the Eva, whatever this says, alright? Replying to the Independent, directed by Mexican, stars a Peruvian actress based on Japanese comment. There's 3 checkboxes right there. Okay? Rosa Salazar was brilliant in the movie. Realistically, probably should have been played by an Asian person. Doesn't matter. It's not important. It didn't do anything to destroy the story. And as you can see, I got the manga right behind my bedstand there. I've been reading it. It's very close to the manga, all right? People are happy with it, okay? People that read the manga are happy with it. They like the movie. They say it's pretty good, all right? Could have been better because it kind of ends on a really unfortunate cliffhanger, but it was a pretty damn good movie, okay? The fact that all this is going on right now makes this movie my favorite movie of 2019, okay? This is where we're at in 2019. We've come to this point, we've come to this head where your likes and dislikes have to be a political stance, okay? And now they're saying that if you like Alita Battle Angel, I'm supposedly part of an alt-right cult. Are you fucking kidding me with this stuff? All right? It's time to stop. Some of the stuff is really funny here. All right? This is some white nonsense, okay? Is it though? I want to get down to this one here. A crack team of research scientists set out to find what the fuck your problem is. There was a second Twitter account suggesting Alita Battle Angel as the film most in need of a cinema viewing, then a third, and then a fourth. The surge followed from there until thousands of Alita fans, some with avatars depicting the cyborg girl herself, swarmed the thread, determined to get the word out about a film they believed was cruelly snubbed upon its release. Yeah, they actually made something good, put it out in a theater, and we wanted to see more good. As far as I remember, that was the whole point of the damn movement, was this is what we want, not Captain Marvel. We want more Alita and less Captain Marvel. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that I remember that is what it was about, because I remember initially asking the question, should I see this movie based on not liking another movie? Should I see it in protest, or should I see it because it's a good movie? I went to go see it and I actually enjoyed the hell out of it. I even wanted to go back and see it a second time. Ran out of time to do it. I apologize for that, but I kind of saw it after it'd been out for a little while, so it's kind of on me at that point. But and then unexpected Alita devotion has only become more pronounced in months since. Twitter accounts for sites such as Collider and Rotten Tomatoes have witnessed the same voracious Alita support, so much so that it's become something of a meme in itself, driven by the oddness, an incredibly vocal and mobilized fan community coalescing around something seemingly forgotten by everyone outside of it. It was forgotten because the media collectively tried to bury it. I had to literally go to an alternative search engine to find information about it. A movie that had just been out. These fans call themselves hashtag Leda Army, congregate on YouTube and Reddit, and typically possess an oddball but undeniably sweet reverence for a well-made and at times genuinely fascinating movie. But like most things on the internet, there's a darker underbelly. So again, we're demonizing another fandom. I get so frustrated with these sharticles that do this. Anytime anybody collectively likes a thing, they're this evil, mythical army of things hell-bent on destroying virtue and everything that's good in the whole world. It's such a bunch of bullshit. So, congregate and Reddit typically said oddball, sweet reverence for a well-made, at times genuinely fascinating movie, but like most things on the internet, there's a darker underbelly. The alt-right make up a not insignificant proportion of elite, and its murky puddle of conspiracy and hysteria that hasn't just made Alita Army the most unexpected community of individuals on the internet, but representative of the internet as a whole. Starring a motion-captured Rosa Salazar with jarringly oversized eyes that you get used to as time goes on, and a number of... It's anime, alright? I get it. Winners including Mahershala Ali, Christoph Waltz, and Jennifer Connelly. Alita Battle Angel is a zippy and glorious hockey sci-fi spectacle, far better than its typical critical response earlier this year implied, about a frantic in its plotting as it is visually overwhelming. It's also frustrating to watch, ending on a tease for the sequel that likely won't ever see the light of day. That's not true either. I do admit it was kind of frustrating that it ended where it did. That did kind of bother me, and I'd be lying if it didn't, but I get why it did that. Alright, it was trying to set up future installments, okay? Poorly set up future installments, but that is what it was doing. Thanks to its rapid erasure from pop culture memory and the fact that it's only made around $400 million at the global box office. That's not true either. I think it's actually made more than that. That its backers at 20th Century Fox have been absorbed by Disney in the months since its likely release doesn't help, which is unfortunate considering the potential on offer at the slavish devotion it has inspired in so many fans. That Alita Battle Angel has sparked such devotion shouldn't come as a major surprise. While adapted from popular if niche manga by Yukito Kishiro, it exists for many as a relative original property unattached to pre-existing brands or its own universe. That is very important, okay? We are living in the time, 2019 is going to be known as the year of sequelitis, okay? I believe it's a real thing. There are too many sequels and reboots out this year to the point to where these trailers and announcements are literally putting me into a coma of boredom, all right? an increasing amount of anomaly in modern blockbuster filmmaking and therefore deserving of at least some respect. And while the film's special effects are remarkable, full of whirring machines, inventive design work, and technical ingenuity, it's also appealingly old-fashioned in its storytelling. Thank you! That's what we've been trying to tell you, Hollywood. We miss storytelling. We don't like the way you talk down to your audience, you make everything stupid, and then you replace good storytelling with identity politics. That's why we hate these new movies. That's why we're not going to the movies right now. And the reason people aren't going to movies right now has nothing to do with Alita Battle Angel. There's none of the deadpan, quirky, or quippy verbalizing of the Marvel Universe, and none of... Wow! Somebody's shilling for Marvel here. And none of the modern studio movie compulsion to eschew sincerity for a kind of snarky cynicism. There's a color and weight given to its world, too. The film's central location of Iron City, a diverse tapestry of junkyards, basketball courts, and back alleys. Sounds kind of like Joliet, where I grew up. Alita herself is also intriguingly joyous and heartwarming as a heroine. She gazes at the world with wonder, discovers herself, falls in love. She's barely real, being both a cyborg and motion capture created and embodied on set by Salazar, but mostly human all the same. With all that is in mind, it's not too hard to rationalize why the film has become quite as beloved as it is. What many within hashtag Leda Army won't do, however, is actually tell you why they love it so much. I can tell you right now what I loved about it. Rosa Salazar was very likable and charming. Also, what I really liked about it is it had fantastic world building, okay? This world that's in this movie is fleshed out very good. Like, you can understand the way in which people traverse this world, interact with each other. You can tell the different social hierarchy that's going on in it. And did I mention that the special effects are breathtaking? It's really good. I mean, it's really good. And it doesn't have all of these, like, Marvel-esque superhero quips and ways in shooting action. Things kind of slowly build up and the action kind of goes on its own. It's more of a Robert Rodriguez movie. That's what makes it cool, alright? It's not trying to copy Marvel. It is literally trying to be its own thing. It's probably closer to Blade Runner and RoboCop and Terminator than any of the aforementioned titles. So, there. I just answered it for you. So, where are you getting this information from, person? What is this person's name again? I don't care. All right. So earlier this month, a journalist from the U.S. entertainment news site tweeted a request for Leda Army members to share reasoning behind their devotion, only to be set up upon an old tweet resurfaced in which she appeared to mock the fan base. She was then made the subject of an attack video posted to YouTube in which Alita fans were encouraged not to speak to her or the press itself. The video has since been deleted after the journalist herself apologized on Twitter and asked for forgiveness. Her Alita Army story has additionally never run. This is the first time I've ever heard of this, so whatevs, alright? If the tactics used in response from the outlandish conspiracy claims to YouTube antagonism to the malicious targeting of female journalists feel familiar to anyone who has spent as little as 5 minutes exploring the modern alt-right, then you would be correct in spotting the crossover between the right-wing internet and elements of Alita fandom. Oh, please. For Alita Battle Angel has been a battleground for society's current culture wars for much of 2019, and just as jarringly nonsensical an arena as much as it deserves. Upon its release in March, Alita Battle Angel was positioned as a right-wing alternative to Captain Marvel. That is true. The latter a lightning rod for aggrieved men's rights active. Oh, please. This is so cringe. All right, internet figures and misogynists who express their respective rages at the world with its proudly feminist marketing, and Brie Larson always eager to talk of the importance of the representation in film and media. No, it's more like always willing to grandstand and make herself look better than thou, alright? Captain Marvel was designed pandering SJW crap by right-wing celebrity Jack Posobiec, leading him to popularize a previously under-the-radar alt-right campaign known as the Alita Challenge to rally support for Captain Marvel's apparently apolitical female-led rival. Currently, it is baffling to talk about Alita Battle Angel as a apolitical movie. In truth, it's arguably even far more liberal in its politics than many of the SJW movies the Leda Army have waged war against, featuring none of the military fetishism of Captain Marvel, nor the performative, widely criticized girl power lip service and the likes of Avengers Endgame or X-Men Dark Phoenix. Set in a world of extreme inequality, Alita foregrounds its characters of color who are forced to live amid crime and corruption and taught to defy a wealthy exploitative city and a sky built on the backs of lower class workers. And like many existing in poverty in modern America, one of the few means of social ascendance in Alita Battle Angel is via competitive sports. Its politics aren't subtle, but become more blunt when articulated in its cast and crew. While Salazar earned little of the press attention devoted to Larson earlier this year, her repeated insistence in interviews that Alita marked a major step in Latinx representation in film weren't very different from the kind of thing Larson was so aggressively pilloried. What is this word for? We're here to stay, baby, Salazar told Variety earlier this year. Ain't no wall gonna keep us out. Just being a Latinx actress at the helm of something like this in itself is a message. You know, I carry my name with me wherever I go. I'm Rosa Bianca Salazar, and this is the next wave of Latino casting. As much as the Alita Challenge and its alt-right backers came to be mocked and memed themselves, many of the toxic ideas that underpin the challenges have underpinned Alita fandom in the months since. The human race has finally crafted the most likable female protagonist, proclaims a popular Alita Army YouTube video, one that doesn't talk down to the fans, one that is believable, powerful, one that is attractive without being over-sexualized. The vlogger adds, she is the perfect wife, the perfect daughter, and the perfect friend. This collection of misogynist themes, this article just trips all over itself, you know? Related to the female likability, believably female strength, and regressive views on how women should express their sexuality have been echoed around the internet for years, but particularly after Gamergate. There we go, bringing in the Gamergate again. That 2014 movement, initially driven by misogynist attacks on video game journalists, quickly mutated into a means to attack women. Leftists and most forms of human decency enacted both online and in public, reverberating as much as through pop culture as it did politics, and they provide an exhausting soundtrack to almost every fantasy property in recent years to involve strong female characters, from the quote Mary Sue debates that have surrounded Star Wars, The Last Jedi, Game of Thrones. Do you notice a trend here? Okay, all of these nerd cultures that have been invaded by politics have helped to produce channels such as this. I'm just saying, all right? You have no voice. You've been constantly badgered and pressed and pushed to show your politics, and then if you don't like the stuff that they're feeding you, your politics are put on trial. You are guilty until you prove yourself innocent. It is ridiculous. So here we are, bringing up The Last Jedi, Game of Thrones, of which I give zero fucks about. One questioning the apparent believability of female characters possessing certain amounts of physical strength or elaborate prophesized destinies, to outrage over the unlikability of Captain Marvel and by proxy Brie Larson herself, and they sadly come to define an Alita fan base that for the most part is celebratory rather than toxic. It's doubly unfortunate because much of the Alita fandom is largely positive. Numerous YouTube videos related to hashtag Leda Army fandom are celebratory in tone, with fans congregating to raise awareness of a film that has touched them in ways few other blockbusters in recent memory have. That is true. Most of these blockbusters, they have these humongous budgets, and they're all samey, and they're all boring. And it used to be back in the 90s you could sell a movie just based on like special effects. That doesn't work on people anymore. You can blow up the entire world and you'd be like, yeah, well, then what? You know what I mean? People have been numbed to digital special effects. It's not enough anymore. You have to have acting, pacing, a script, a good story, plot. Things like that are important to people nowadays. People have changed their tone about the way they view movies. And eager to spread the message, and there's a scrappy naivety, sweet charm to their efforts to get a sequel made. In this world, endlessly tweeting at verified film Twitter accounts and aspiring collective bafflement will actually make a real difference instead of merely investigating mockery at the tweeter's expense. If Alita Battle Angel does indeed exist as a one-and-done movie, its franchise dreams dashed with the grace of the Tom Cruise-led monster movie universe, quietly scrapped after its reboot of The Mummy flopped, then it deserves to be memorized as an odd triumph with a go-for-broke weirdness and depth of sincerity that always has going to be too freaky for its own time. Not as a reflection of everything scary and destructive about geek culture and the internet today, egomaniac he may be, but James Cameron deserves better. That last line I will agree with, but then again, James Cameron was the producer. It was Robert Rodriguez that actually made this movie, shot it, directed it, okay? I know that James Cameron had a lot to do with the script on this one, but, you know, let's give the credits where the credits are due, okay? It seems like everything James Cameron touches, he's like Mr. Midas. Boop, boop, boop. I touched it, I've given it its blessing, it must be wonderful. So, yeah, this article is really kind of all over the place. I'll never read this website ever again. Who the hell wrote this? Adam White. Okay, yeah. Some of those comments I mildly agreed with, but some of the other stuff that he said, just like I said, it kind of tripped over itself. It's like 1 minute you're defending it, the next minute you're saying that people that are into the movie are a bunch of misogynists, and that's why we make these videos, folks, okay? Because we're not misogynists because we like a thing. We're not misogynists because we don't like a thing. We just want things to be fun and entertaining and have our escapist entertainment not tainted by identity politics. That's all it is. That's all it ever will be. Hopefully an Alita sequel is made, but who knows, okay? In the meantime, there's nothing wrong with rallying for its support. This is Adam signing out. You guys have yourselves a groovy day. Peace. Thanks for watching this video. I hope you found it somewhat entertaining. Please remember to depress that like button and subscribe to my channel for more content. Make sure you hit that bell icon so you'll be the first to know when new content is published. Please visit RaidersOfLostFlicks.com for more hilarious entertainment and links to all of our social media platforms. Also, consider supporting us on Patreon. As little as $1 a month supports our worldwide digs for more Lost Flicks. Thank you, and have a groovy day.